See me zap, boopity bap, go fast, feel good, movement, shooters, fun. Think you're dead? Nah, you can just grind up the side of this freaking island. I've decided to take on the challenge. Create my own movement shooter with two big gameplay objectives. One, unique weapon types, and two, tying the movement into the weapons themselves rather than just the character. The mechanic that inspired me for this project was an idea I had for a projectile that bounces off enemies and can be dashed to when like precisely aimed at. So I started by making a thick 3D model.
That's a thick ass ball!
Popped it into the engine and got to work. I first added a system to bounce projectiles off of enemies and float them around for a brief period, and then added functionality to let me dash them. After that, I began 3D modeling the first-person arms, and honestly, I don't have much experience in 3D modeling, so I wanted to use this project as like a learning experience for that. So I put together a random animation just to see if it could get through to Unreal, because every time I've tried to do this in the past, but it actually went through, which got me so freaking hyped. So now we just gotta implement it and see how it looks.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck?
It works! And then I got started conceptualizing and creating concept art for different weapon types. No, not this one. No, whoops. Okay, yeah, this one right here. It's like a chainsword, and the idea is that you can hook onto an enemy, you can pull them in, and then start grinding on them surfboard style like it's Tribes Ascend. God, this game was so good. So I got to work on creating a placeholder for the chainsword, and then started working on implementing the surfing mechanic to see if it's actually fun. And it should be easy enough to implement. You just got to make sure that the character has no friction when it's active, and then give him a little push, and
Job finished.
turns out job was not finished, and I had to brush up on a lot of my math knowledge.
We draw tangents to this circumcircle at points B and C, and they intersect at this point T. It's like setting up for a mind-blowing stunt, but with math. Stick till the end, because by the end of this video...
Alright, now they have a surf that adds and decreases momentum based off the slope, but there's an issue with the character not flying off the slopes properly and instead just sticking to them. I spent hours looking for the solution, and it turns out it's just Unreal's default component BS. Long story short, the character is sticky and you can't do nothing about it in the default editor. You gotta just give it a bat. So a workaround I tried was having the character spam jump every frame that they were going up a slope so that I could unstick them, and as bootleg as it is, it kind of worked. But then I got thinking, what happened to the OG idea of the bouncing projectiles? Does this idea of grinding on enemies derail it? Is it too game-breaking to be in the same game as that? So I went back to work on the original mechanic, and the first thing I had to answer is, what type of weapon would that concept of the original idea work with? And so I went back to the drawing board. No. This, okay, so a projectile that bounces off of things and that you can dash to. And then I got stuck on the word magic. And what fits this description well? Playing card. And so I added new animations, and with that we can say goodbye to the first animation. You will be missed. Why'd I spend the time making this? It's the ego. Okay, then I went ahead and added a placeholder card, and it doesn't look too bad. After that, I worked on improving my animation skills, and I had to make the same animation several freaking times because of this issue I had where the skeleton wouldn't import in A-pose, but just be stuck in like the first animation. I spent hours trying to fix it, and honestly, I was ready to pull out my fucking hair, as you can see by these naming conventions. I eventually decided to just go with it for now to get a better look at everything. And afterwards, I was kind of getting tired of seeing just gray boxes everywhere when I was making this game. So I downloaded a free map pack so that it could look pretty while I work. So it went from this to this. Ta-da! I then continued working on polishing up the card weapon by adding VFX to the projectile, as well as a damage system to enemies and some death physics. I then went on to model and texture the card. Nice. And then I added some targeting functionality for the card by pretty much just calculating the distance of the card to the crosshair. And I did a quick little stress test to see if I could find up any bugs, and it was working out pretty well. Then I got to work on a basic enemy, and I call him Baby Grump. And of course he's also thick. And then I gave him some basic AI to throw a rock from his bum. Then, before branching off into a bunch of different weapons and abilities, I got to work learning and implementing Unreal Engine's gameplay ability system, which, long story short, is a framework that allows you to organize and accessibilities in a more
scalable and modular
way. I then got to work on a spear weapon based off of the OG level 10 spear, if you know what I mean, and then I implemented it. Man, why does it look like he's holding a little ciggy? Oh, I see. Okay. And boop. Now we got ourselves a frickin' spear. When playtesting it, I discovered a great idea. I made it so that enemies would ragdoll when it touches them, which led me down another rabbit hole of trying to play golf using the baby Crump's lifeless body. I line up the shot. A swing and miss. I scrapped the spear for now because it honestly looked goofy, and instead used a placeholder sword while I get better at modeling. Then I tried to use Unreal Engine's built-in animation tools to avoid Blender again, and I enjoyed it like 1,000 times more than animating in Blender. It really is crazy how far the animations have come in like 2 weeks. Then I added the ability to switch between weapons, which alters animations and abilities. Then added a melee hit detection for the sword. I then added a dash ability to the sword. And then once that was done, I figured I still don't really have a gameplay loop or a game mode for this game yet, and I went down the roguelike rabbit hole that a lot of developers go through, and decided the first thing to do was make chests with different weapon rarity. Honestly, it's not the smartest move to work on this early, but the challenge of building it out kind of fascinated me, and I just wanted to see if I could do it. But yeah, it's like 5 steps too far from where I'm at now, so I made the chest animate and open when interacted with, spawned an actor, and then gave that actor all the info of each weapon type that it's randomly spawning. Then I added some VFX, and ran into another bug where the spawner would just fall through the floor. And it turns out after digging and digging that Unreal Engine just don't like small items. Pretty much. So after fixing that and implementing different rarities for the weapons and different chest types, I got the chest system to work. After that, I decided to give the sword 2 more abilities. One that toggles a 2-handed mode that launches you towards your movement direction, and another ability that throws the sword and allows for you to dash at it. Added some VFX to the abilities, and reused another animation I had, and here it is in action. And then after playing around with it and testing it a bit, I found this thick bug with it. Nah, get it? Because it's thick. After that, I modeled my own sword to use. And at this point, it's been about 3 weeks since I started this project. And since I've uploaded this, it's been about a month and a half more since I've worked on it. So there's a lot more in store that I'm excited to show you. Let me know in the comments if you guys have any ideas or want to see anything with this game. Peace out.